Hey guys, welcome out to the range. Today we're going to be doing the handgun combatives box drill, except we're going to be doing it with long gun rather than handgun. When I asked Dave Spalding if he would allow me to use pieces of his curriculum for my curriculum, he first of all, of course, gave me a bunch of grief, and then he finally said, yes, you can use the curriculum, thank you for asking. And I told him this particular drill, of any other drill that he does, is what I refer to as the everything drill. Now, when you guys train with me, obviously I say it is the handgun combatives box drill. But this, in my mind, is the everything drill. And why is that? Because this drill covers move, stop, stabilize, shoot, move. Every single thing that is needed to survive a gunfight is in this drill, and it's only 6 rounds. You'll notice that I'm shooting a rifle, and you'll notice that I'm shooting on steel plates. Those of you who have who've trained with me and seen my videos enough know that I really like shooting steel, because within 300 milliseconds of witnessing the hit, now the witnessing of the hit is everything from seeing, feeling, and hearing. Your brain creates a new neural pathway and labels it success. And to give you an idea what 300 milliseconds is, it is the human eye blinking, the human eyelid blinking. That's 300 milliseconds. Before we go any further, guys, welcome to my life in Tennessee. This is the way the wind is always blowing. Yes, my camera does have a windsock on it. This is my reality, so bear with me. So anyways, I like shooting on steel. The reason you can't do steel unless you're doing frangible with rifle is that the velocity of a rifle will take an M1, a 55 grain round. We'll just leave it at that, 55 grain round, and the velocity is so fast it'll take chunks out of steel. What you guys may or may not be able to tell is those targets downrange are leaning way back, and they're also turned at a really drastic angle. So I'm trying to create this effect and this effect where the round is going to skip off. I've given it 2 directions for it to go so that it's not dumping its energy directly this way. It's actually skipping its energy at an angle, because I want that round to go somewhere other than straight into that steel and dump all of its energy on the steel. That means that the life of these targets is dramatically expanded. Also, because these are challenge targets, you see the bolts on the top there that look like little horn buds. That allows me to take the target and flip it over if I start getting a lot of hits, or maybe if the target starts taking a concave type and it can happen even with 3/8 plates. They can begin to start taking a bit of a concave shape, and that will vector around back at the shooter, which is the other reason why these are tipped to the rear. So challenge targets has become my go-to for, and by the way, I should clarify this, I pay for all my own steel. I either pay or barter for steel. So it isn't like I'm getting freebies out the door. But I choose challenge targets because the targets are mobile, the targets are affordable, and the targets are very high quality in nature. All right, enough jaw-jacking. This is the handgun combatives box drill, 8 yards, 15 yards, 5 yards apart. And the way it works is, if you fire your first round, and obviously with rifle, you should be able to fire your first round. It should be a central hit. I will allow a little bit above, actually tell you what, this is what I do with my students. I say to them, anywhere on that head, you're good to go. Anywhere on that head, and here's why. If you take a baseball bat and you wallop somebody across the head, it really doesn't matter where you hit them. You are not going to alter their behavior to such a degree that they're gonna stop fighting. If you can get them to just stop fighting for a few seconds, you can beat feet and get out of there. That's why this drill is the way it is, and that's why I have head targets. So the first shot is fired from here, if you can make it. If you can't make it, you have to run down to the 8-yard position. You fire 1 round, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you can fire your round from here, you get to skip this portion and you get to actually go to position 2 instead of having to run forward to position 1. Oh, and the other thing is, before you do this drill, make sure you stretch out, because there's a lot of moving around in this drill, and the last thing you want to do is damage yourself on the range, and then when the real fight finds you out on the streets, you're so damaged from training that you're combat ineffective. So always prepare your body for what you're about to do. guys are literally witnessing the very first ever rounds fired on these targets. That's surprising. I expected more damage than that. Yeah, that's good. These are 3/8 steel AR-500. And for those that don't know, AR doesn't mean, you know, AR. It means abrasion resistance. And like I said, because these are turned at an angle, in fact, I realized while shooting this drill that I need to turn these even more. I can actually get away with a really, really rakish angle on these to make sure that round goes somewhere other than dumping all of its energy on the target. Those that are asking why these targets are so short, you have to make sure that the load of the target hasn't exceeded the position of the legs, otherwise the target ends up doing this on you when you hit it. So I had to cut these 2x4s way down, and someone says, well, yeah, but you're shooting a little kid. No, I'm not. I'm shooting a dude who's taking a knee. I'm shooting a guy who's aiming at you from here. That's what this is about. Look, only in Hollywood do people stand and have gunfights. In the real world, people are using cover. They're popping out from behind cover. They're using anything possible to make themselves as small as possible. So, practice shooting a short target. Keepers. That one's getting close. Still a keeper. Nope, that's a fail. I missed. So that's a failure. So it is what it is. One of the other reasons that I like shooting steel is when the wind is blowing really hard like this, and I'm sure you guys can tell it's really blowing sideways out here. All you have to do is spray paint. These targets are very forgiving in high wind because they're heavy enough to resist the high wind, so there's not a lot of flapping around. They're fairly stable, and also it's just a matter of spray painting them over, slapping the stencil on, filling in the stencil, and then just rocking on. You can get a lot of work done with just 2 of these targets. In fact, remember guys, you could actually run this drill with just 1 target sitting centrally because you're far enough away that you can still run to your position and work your angle if you have to. It's easier with 3. If you had to make do, get at least 2. Preferably all 3. So there you go. The Handgun Combatives box drill is absolutely the everything drill. It's my favorite drill because it does everything. Once again, didn't make my time, 24.78, and I even threw one. So I'm going to keep working at it because clearly I need the practice. Yeah, that's about it. This is the everything drill. Move, stop, stabilize, shoot, move. It does everything for you, and it only asks 6 rounds of investment out of you. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one. Let's shoot!